Fans are already bracing themselves for emotional moments if Jack decides to step back. And then there's Tim, the eternal wild card. His character has always been unpredictable, and that's what makes his arc exciting. Season 19 could bring redemption or disaster for him, depending on the choices he makes. Will his stubbornness lead him to repeat the same mistakes, or will he finally prove he can truly change? The uncertainty around Tim ensures that no matter what happens, his story will be one of the sparks driving the season forward. But beyond individual characters, the biggest speculation of all is about the ranch itself. Heartland is more than a backdrop, it's the lifeblood of the show. Many fans wonder if season 19 will challenge the ranch's future. Will it face new financial struggles, outside threats, or even generational shifts in how it's managed? Storylines about land, family heritage, and the fight to preserve tradition could make season 19 one of the most powerful seasons yet. The beauty of speculating about Heartland is that every possibility feels rooted in truth. This isn't a show that throws in wild twists for shock value. Instead, every new chapter feels like the natural progression of life. And that's why season 19 holds so much promise, because no matter what happens, it will feel real, emotional, and unforgettable. Season 19 isn't just a what if, it's a waiting room filled with hopes, predictions, and dreams from millions of fans across the world. And until the official announcement comes, speculation will continue to fuel the fire, making the possibility of a new season feel like destiny. The question echoing across fan circles is simple. When will CBC finally break its silence and confirm what so many are hoping for Heartland Season 19? And while no official date has been locked in, signs suggest the answer might be closer than we think. The phrase "next month" has already become a spark of hope, setting social media on fire with theories, countdowns, and sleepless nights filled with speculation. But why the delay in announcing? That's the part fans often forget. Television isn't just about creativity, it's about strategy. Networks hold back release dates for many reasons: scheduling, competition, production timelines, and marketing build-up. Heartland is one of CBC's crown jewels, and a show this beloved isn't renewed casually. Every detail of the announcement is carefully timed to maximize impact. It's not just about saying season 19 is coming, it's about when and how that message will send a wave across the fan community. If history is any clue, announcements tend to arrive when filming has reached a secure stage, when the cast is locked in, scripts are polished, and production schedules align. Season 18 followed a similar rhythm, with whispers beginning months before CBC made it official. Now, with production patterns repeating, fans are convinced that a season 19 update could drop within weeks. The timing feels deliberate, almost as if the network wants to build anticipation to its peak before finally rewarding the audience with the truth. Adding to the buzz are the cast's own actions. While none of the main actors have openly confirmed season 19, their interviews and social media posts sometimes hint at exciting things ahead or stories not yet finished. To longtime fans, these cryptic remarks feel like breadcrumbs scattered along the path to an announcement. Amy Marshall's quiet but hopeful tone in recent appearances has only deepened the belief that season 19 is in motion behind the scenes. And then there's the international audience to consider. Heartland isn't just a Canadian show anymore, it's streamed worldwide on platforms like Netflix, where its reach has exploded. The global demand puts pressure on CBC to keep the momentum going. Announcing season 19 at just the right moment could ignite not only Canadian fans but millions of viewers overseas. The potential is too great to ignore, which is why many believe the network won't let 2025 arrive without giving fans clarity. The fascinating part is how the community itself has become a force in shaping the narrative. Online petitions, discussion threads, and fan campaigns create a kind of pressure cooker. CBC knows that fans aren't waiting quietly, they're watching, speculating, and amplifying every rumor. By staying silent, the network has unintentionally turned season 19 into one of the most anticipated TV announcements in recent years. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what they wanted. So, could next month finally be it? The signs say yes. The rhythms of past renewals, The hints from cast members, the growing global demand all point toward a moment when silence will break. And when it does, it won't just be news. It will be a collective sigh of relief, a roar of excitement, and the spark of a brand new chapter in the Heartland legacy. Until then, fans remain in suspense, their calendars marked, their hopes high. Because sometimes the wait makes the reward even sweeter. And if the whispers are true, the long wait for Heartland Season 19 may soon be over. If you really want to measure the power of Heartland, you don't need ratings or statistics. You only need to scroll through fan forums, Facebook groups, or Twitter feeds at midnight when another rumor about Season 19 starts to spread. There you'll find thousands of voices from around the world, each one carrying the same heartbeat. We're ready. We need more Heartland. For some fans, Heartland is more than a show, it's therapy. Viewers share stories of how watching Amy heal horses helped them through grief, or how Jack's wisdom gave them comfort during their darkest days. In fan communities, people openly admit they rewatch episodes when life feels heavy, finding calm in the slow rhythm of ranch life and the familiar faces of characters who now feel like family. That's why the idea of Season 19 isn't just another season. For many, it's like being promised another visit to a place where they always feel safe. The excitement has grown into creativity. Fan sketch artwork of Amy with Lindy, right? Fan fiction imagining Lindy's future, and even cut together trailers predicting what Season 19 might look like. Some make YouTube tributes with clips and music, treating Heartland like a family album that everyone is welcome to add to. Others start podcasts or join group chats where they analyze every interview with the cast, dissecting even the smallest sentence for hidden meaning. The speculation has turned into a collective project, an entire community of storytellers keeping the flame alive until CBC makes it official. And then there's the generational impact. Parents who began watching Heartland back in 2007 now sit down with their children to rewatch the early seasons on streaming platforms. Some of those kids are now teenagers who are just as invested in Lindy's future as their parents once were in Amy's. This passing of the torch from one generation of fans to the next mirrors the show itself, proof that Heartland isn't just entertainment. It's tradition. What makes the anticipation unique is the tone of it. It's not wild impatience or angry demands. Instead, it's patient, loyal, and filled with love. Fans know the rhythms of the show. They know it takes time to craft the right stories. And yet, even that patience is charged with electricity. Every day without news feels like standing at the edge of a cliff, waiting for the moment someone finally says, yes, Season 19 is happening. Across social media, phrases like Heartland is my comfort show or I grew up with Amy and Ty appear daily. Fans share their favorite moments, post photos of the Alberta landscapes where the series was filmed, and tag the cast with words of gratitude. This constant stream of appreciation doesn't just celebrate the past, it builds the future. CBC and the cast can feel it. They know the demand is alive, pulsing stronger than ever, and that kind of loyalty doesn't go unanswered. So, as whispers about a release date announcement grow louder, the fanbase feels less like an audience and more like a movement. They aren't just waiting, they're building anticipation together, creating a storm of excitement so strong that when the news finally drops, it won't just be an announcement. It will feel like a global celebration. In the end, the true story isn't only what Season 19 might bring, it's the passion of the people waiting for it. And in every comment, every shared clip, every piece of fan art, there's one clear message: Heartland isn't finished. Neither are we. The story of Heartland has always been about holding on to hope, even when the future feels uncertain. That same spirit lives in its fans today. Season 19 hasn't been announced yet, but you can almost feel it in the air, like the hush before a thunderstorm, like the stillness of the ranch at dawn when you know something new is about to begin. Maybe next month, maybe a little longer, sooner or later, the silence will break. And when it does, the word Season 19 won't just be a headline. There'll be a promise. A promise that Amy's journey isn't over, that Lindy's story is only just beginning, and that the ranch that has healed so many lives on screen and off will open its gates once again. But until then, The story is in your hands. Fans have always been part of what makes Heartland special. Every comment, every discussion, every theory keeps the world of Heartland alive, even in the quiet between seasons. This isn't just about watching a show, it's about being part of a family that spans countries, languages, and generations. So now, the call is simple. Keep that fire alive. Share your favorite memories, your bold predictions, your hopes for Amy, Lou, Jack, Tim, and Lindy. Tell us what you think season 19 should bring, because the conversation itself is what keeps the show breathing. And when the announcement finally comes, it won't feel like news from CBC. A new season of Heartland might be closer than we think. For years, this show has been more than just television. It has been a journey, a family, and a world fans can escape into. And now, whispers are growing louder. Could season 19 be on its way in 2025, with an official announcement as soon as next month? Section 1. Quick recap of Heartland's legacy. Approx. 3,000 characters. When we look back at Heartland's incredible journey, it's not just about a TV series that started in 2007, it's about a story that has lasted nearly 2 decades and touched millions of hearts worldwide. Very few shows survive this long, and even fewer manage to stay meaningful, emotional, and relatable. But Heartland has done exactly that. It's not just a show about horses or life on a ranch. It's about family, love, and healing, told in a way that feels timeless. From season 1, when we first met Amy Fleming after the loss of her mother, the series made us feel her pain, her resilience, and her special bond with horses. That very first storyline set the tone for everything that came after. Heartland was never about flashy drama, but about real emotions, real struggles, and the quiet but powerful strength that comes from family ties. The setting itself, the beautiful Heartland Ranch, almost feels like a character, a place where generations have grown, healed, and learned to move forward together. Over the years, the show has introduced us to characters we've grown to love, like family, Lou, Ty, Jack, Tim, Georgie, and many more. Each of them brought their own struggles and triumphs, weaving into a story that became richer with every season. And while the characters have faced heartbreak, losses, and life-changing moments, the constant theme has always been hope. That's one reason why fans keep coming back season after season, because no matter how tough things get, Heartland shows us that healing is possible and love can carry us through. Another reason Heartland has endured for 18 seasons is its ability to stay grounded. Unlike many shows that lose their way after a few years, Heartland has never forgotten what it is truly about: the bond between people and animals, the strength of family, even when it's complicated, and the quiet beauty of rural life, where every sunrise feels like a fresh start. It reminds us of values that can easily get lost in today's fast-moving world: patience, loyalty, and trust. Globally, the series has become more than Canadian television. It's been translated, streamed, and shared across continents, building a fan base that stretches from North America to Europe, Asia, and beyond. For many people, Heartland is a comfort show, something to watch when life feels overwhelming. Its slow pace and heartfelt storytelling bring a sense of calm, almost like sitting down with an old friend. And now, after so many seasons, what makes Heartland even more special is how it has grown alongside its fans. People who started watching as teenagers are now adults, some even sharing the show with their own families. This generational connection makes Heartland not just a TV series, but a tradition, something to return to year after year, season after season. So when people talk about the possibility of a 19th season, it's not just excitement about more episodes. It's the hope of continuing a story that has been part of their lives for almost 20 years. Fans want to see Amy continue her journey, Jack's wisdom guiding the family, and new characters stepping into the legacy. It's about keeping alive a world that feels like home. In short, the legacy of Heartland is not about how many seasons it has, but about the emotional connection it has created with millions of viewers. And if season 19 truly arrives in 2025, It won't just be another season, it will be the continuation of one of television's most heartfelt journeys. Season 18 of Heartland didn't just end, it left fans standing at the edge of a cliff, wondering what comes next. By the time the final credits rolled, it felt like the writers had carefully opened new doors while leaving just enough unanswered questions to keep our hearts restless. That's the magic of Heartland. It doesn't tie everything neatly with a bow. Instead, it reminds us that life is always in motion, full of moments unfinished, waiting to be lived. At the center of it all, Amy Fleming continues to carry the weight of the Heartland legacy. Since Ty's heartbreaking death seasons ago, Amy has stood as a symbol of resilience, of how grief can transform into growth. In season 18, we saw her facing fresh challenges, not only in her personal life but also in her role as a mother. Her daughter, Lindy, is growing up fast, and with that comes the pressure of guiding the next generation while still trying to heal herself. Watching Amy navigate these moments made fans ask, is she ready to open her heart again? And if she does, what would that mean for her future and for Ty's memory? But it wasn't just Amy's story that pulled us in. Lou, always caught between ambition and responsibility, continued her balancing act. As mayor and as a mother, her choices ripple across both the community and the family. In season 18, Lou faced decisions that tested her relationships, leaving fans to wonder whether her drive for leadership will ultimately bring her closer to her family or push her further away. Then there's Jack, the soul of the ranch, whose quiet wisdom has carried the family through storms for decades. Even in season 18, we could sense his worries, the fear of time passing, the weight of ensuring that the Heartland Ranch will survive long after he's gone. Jack has always been a protector, but in these recent episodes, we've seen him shift into a teacher, passing down lessons, preparing the younger ones for a future where they must stand on their own. This subtle shift wasn't just touching, it was a reminder of life's inevitable cycle. Tim, as always, brought his fiery energy and complicated past into the mix. His journey in season 18 reminded us that redemption isn't a straight path. His relationships, both old and new, kept the drama alive, showing that even after all these years, Tim still has room to grow, to change, and maybe even surprise us. But perhaps the most powerful element of season 18 was not in any single character's story, but in the sense of transition that ran through every episode. We felt it in the changing dynamics between characters, in the younger generation stepping forward, and in the older generation slowly handing over responsibility. It felt like a bridge, a season designed to move us from the world we've known for so long into the beginnings of something new. That's why fans can't stop talking about the ending. It didn't slam the door shut. It cracked it open just enough. The unresolved questions are what fuel the fire for season 19 speculation. Will Amy finally find a balance between honoring the past and embracing her future? Will Lindy's journey become a central focus, making her the next heart of Heartland? And will Jack's dream of passing on the ranch be fulfilled in the way he hopes? Or will new challenges test the family more than ever before? Season 18 left us not with closure, but with anticipation. And that's exactly why fans are desperate for answers. Because deep down, everyone knows Heartland's story isn't over yet, it's simply waiting for the next chapter. The silence around Heartland season 19 has created a storm of whispers. Fans are piecing together clues, reading between the lines of interviews and scanning every hint dropped by the cast. And while nothing is official yet, the possibilities are so compelling that they almost feel like stories waiting to be written. The first big question is about Amy. For years, she has been the heart of the show, the healer of horses, the protector of tradition, the soul of the ranch. But what happens when the healer still carries wounds of her own? Season 18 made it clear that Amy is strong, but strength doesn't erase loneliness. Many fans believe season 19 could be the turning point. The season where Amy finally lets someone new into her life. Not to replace Ty, because no one ever could, but to remind viewers that love can return in unexpected ways. Imagine the emotional weight of watching Amy wrestle with that decision, torn between honoring the memory of her past and daring to embrace a future she never thought she'd have. Then there's Lindy, her daughter. She is no longer the little girl from earlier seasons. Fans are speculating that season 19 could shift the spotlight toward Lindy's growth, making her more central than ever before. After all, Heartland has always been about generations, about passing down lessons and watching them evolve. Could Lindy become the bridge to a whole new era of Heartland stories? Season 19 might just plant those seeds, showing us the beginnings of a new journey while still rooted in the familiar ranch we've all grown to love. Another major speculation revolves around Lou. As mayor, businesswoman, and mother, her story has always balanced personal struggles with public responsibility. But power comes with sacrifice. Will season 19 test her limits even more? Some fans believe her political role could clash with family obligations in ways that force Lou to make impossible choices. And if she stumbles, how will that impact her relationship with Mitch and the others who look to her for stability? Of course, we cannot talk about the future without mentioning Jack. His presence has always been the anchor of Heartland, the steady hand guiding everyone else. But what happens when the anchor begins to let go of the rope? In season 19, we might see Jack preparing the family for a world without him. Not necessarily saying goodbye, but gently passing the torch, ensuring that Heartland's legacy will outlive him. This storyline, if it happens, would be heartbreaking yet deeply meaningful, because it reflects the natural flow of life.